Choreographers are assumed to be the people who, if there is any assumption, are assumed to be the people who make up the movements in a dance, but that is less and less true. Now it seems that you can say, without being contradicted by too many people, a choreographer organizes the ideas in a piece and the mode of expression in an artwork. And very often, not in my case, but very often around the world now, choreographers generate situations in which dancers create the movements. I think that things are articulated in dance through rhythm and movement in space that are clearer and more powerful than anything that can be spoken about. And it seemed to me that rhythm in particular was something I observed that people are communicating through all the time, but not necessarily with awareness of it. Usually I try to think of some way, something that people take for granted in their life that I can explore rhythmically so that they'll see how much they already do these things, how much it's just not something they're aware of. For instance, the duet that Jeff and I do, which has become well known, in which we wear velcro suits. Velcro is a very practical, mundane item that everybody uses every day, but I wanted to use it to show how people need to stick to each other in order to rip apart. And then I made the Velcro into a rhythmic score. There were months of our trying to figure out different ways to use Velcro that were just physically possible. And then we sort of develop a short language, a body of material that we can use, and then building the piece out of that becomes then the structural part of it, putting up the framework for it. I built a piece based on Steve Reich's famous score called Clapping Music, which was meant for two people clapping. And it was based on a phasing system where one person holds a steady 12-count phrase and the other person phases through it, shifting the last beat to the first beat during 12 repetitions. What happens is it maintains counterpoint all the way through. So I wanted to make a piece for 4 people in which they were almost never in sync but were always connected. I skipped over finding the architecture because the score gave me the musical score. So that was like the inversion of the Velcro piece, which started off much more like groping through the dark, trying anything that occurred to us, whereas the Steve Reich clapping music piece was in its form set before we began. We're working on Head Over Heels right now, and that's a kind of in the vein of these cabaret shows I've been doing in the last 5 years, which are song and dance entertainments. They're meant to be done for people who are drinking, and they're meant for small stages, and they're meant to be lively enough and fast enough and agile enough to grab people's attention in that way. This is a suite of song and dances about conflicted romance, or about romance in which there are too many people or too few people or the wrong people, and about the sort of superimposition of one person for another, and like you see through the person you're with to the person you would be with or you used to be with, so it's kind of an ode to infidelity, real or imagined, a Valentine to infidelity through song and dance.